Hello again. As you can see, we're back in the kitchen with the pumpkin gutter, and this time what we're going to be doing is trying to churn butter with the pumpkin gutter. Thanks to Tom Nardone on Facebook, he suggested that we give it a try. For those of you that don't know Tom, he is the author of Extreme Pumpkins, Extreme Halloween. If you haven't seen these books, check them out. They're available on Amazon, and they're a lot of fun. So Tom, thank you for the suggestion. As it turns out, I have actually made my own butter. I've just never done it with a pumpkin gutter. So thank you so much. I'm anxious to give this thing a try and see what happens. For those of you that don't know how to make butter, it's incredibly simple. You just take cream, get it up to room temperature, and you beat it for a long time, and it'll eventually become butter and buttermilk. In the old days, they used to do, school children would do projects where they'd put it in a jar and shake it all afternoon, and they'd end up with butter. And now, of course, you can use a KitchenAid, whatever. Well, what we're making today isn't just your average run-of-the-mill sweet cream butter. We've added another little step. We've put in some yogurt about 30 hours ago. And what that does is it cultures the cream and gives you a sweeter butter. It's something that we really like. So we've got that cultured cream in the bowl, and we're ready to start beating it. If this works the way it's supposed to, eventually we're going to get whipped cream, and then it goes from whipped cream very quickly into butter and buttermilk. The buttermilk you get isn't like the stuff you buy in the store. It's actually very mild. This might take a while, so if you want to go make a sandwich or something, now might be a really good time. I could have gutted about 6 pumpkins already in this amount of time. Alright, it's starting to get a little frothy. For those of you that just made a sandwich, you really didn't miss much. Welcome back. Oh, and I should have mentioned, if you do this, you want to start with as simple a cream as you can. You don't want any extra ingredients. You don't want whipping cream. Just heavy cream is the best. Okay, that's starting to look like Cool Whip. So far, so good. Oh, it's really getting thick. Oh yeah. Starting to break a little bit. I'll slow way down so I don't make a huge mess. Oh wow. See the buttermilk and the butter separating. Okay, well, next part of the process is to drain it. Alright, there you can see that we've got butter and buttermilk separated. So the next thing we want to do is skim that buttermilk, separate them basically. So I'm going to chase all the butter over into a corner here, and then This buttermilk is really quite good. I'll even eat it on cereal. Now, from what I've read, you can just eat the butter right now the way it is, but if you're going to store any of it for any amount of time, we need to get it completely clean of this buttermilk. So we have to do what they refer to as rinsing it. And that's always been really one of the biggest pains. Although I do have to say that the pumpkin gutter did this in about half the time that it takes me with a KitchenAid. So that's I'm already pretty much sure that this is how I'm going to make butter from now on. But one of the hardest things is rinsing. It just takes a long time with a spoon or with a spatula. What you do is you put ice water on it, rinse, pour it out, rinse, pour it out, rinse, pour it out until the water starts to run clear. I'm going to try doing that with the pumpkin gutter and see what happens. So I'm going to get some ice water in here. All right, we get some ice water pouring on here. We'll start this rinsing process. Don't know how this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot. We can always fall back to the spatula if we need to. Okay, you can see the milkiness in that water. Oh, we have a butter ball. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I'll just chase the butter back into a pile. You see how milky that water is. The ice water tends to stiffen the butter up a little bit too, and it'll be a little easier to work with. So now I'll run this over to the sink and pour it out. Okay. We'll throw some more ice water in. More of this. It's not too hard, it sticks together. It's not water soluble, obviously, so it just put it together in a big pile. And then what we usually do is just divide it into a number of small Tupperware containers and freeze them and serve them right out of those. Okay, I'll pour this out. And there is roughly, I believe, a pound of butter. And there you have it. You can, in fact, make butter with a pumpkin gutter. Tom, thank you so much for the suggestion. I will be using the pumpkin gutter from now on. It literally was half the time in the KitchenAid, and the rinsing process actually went about twice as fast as well. So I'm sorry I didn't think of it first. Tom, thank you very much. And for those of you that have never made your own butter, you need to try this. It is better.